Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and the word of the day is excitement. And I choose this word for at least two reasons. The first one is because the moon is waxing into full, and right now it's in Leo, and I find a waxing Leo moon to be really delicious. It really increases my sense of hopefulness, it gives me a sense of energy, and it increases my sense of excitement. And we will be having a full moon in Virgo on Sunday, and that is going to be a really good time for declaring what you want to manifest. But right now is a great time for tapping into your excitement about your heart's desire. The other reason, the second reason that I'm talking about excitement, is that I've had the opportunity to work with a number of clients in the last few days, as well as get some mentoring from one of my mentors that's been all about envisioning our heart's desire and really taking time to just sit with it and to visualize it and to think about it and to cultivate that sense of hope and that sense of excitement. And the thing is that in my experience, excitement is the key that leads us to manifestation. Because when we have that profound sense of desire, we can start nurturing it and nourishing it, and that leads us to a sense of excitement. And that excitement is what is going to propel us forward into action and propel us forward into doing the things necessary to make it be a real thing. And as yesterday I was talking about how there's such a difference between wondering how we're going to be able to do something and how we're going to come up with the resources and how we're going to save the money for it and all this other stuff versus desiring something and asking the question, you know, what solutions will lead me to this? How can I manifest the resources I need to make it happen? This is that step before that, which is about really tuning into the desire, really tuning into the vision of the possibility and cultivating that vision, cultivating the project, cultivating the dream. And then by doing that, tapping into the excitement for it. And from that tapping into the excitement, allowing the universe to reveal the solutions, allowing the universe to reveal the possibilities, allowing the universe to reveal the ways that this can come into being, including chunking it down into one step at a time. And in my experience, the thing is, when I start with that seed of desire and then I start visualizing it and chewing it, sort of chewing on it on a spiritual level and just imagining the possibilities and just continuing to deepen into it, what I find allows it to come into being is the excitement. If I just sort of sit with it as kind of a fantasy and a dream, but I don't get really excited about it, it can stay kind of up in the ethers and kind of stay in that place of daydreaming possibility. But when I give it passion, when I give it desire, when I start feeding it with excitement, that's when it gets to be so juicy and yummy and amazing that it's almost impossible not to want to move forward with it. It's almost impossible not to want to bring it into form. And I know that I've learned and heard that one of the challenges of visualizing things, especially sharing things with other people, is that if we share things sometimes, what can happen is that's good enough. And then we can kind of just like act as if it almost exists. And what I've realized is that that happens when we don't get excited. That's the way that we kind of like, we've done our due diligence, we've put it out into the universe, and now we can just let it rest. But when we share with excitement, when we tap into the enthusiasm, when we really feel into the longing and the desire for something to come into being, that's when we can bring it into manifestation. And that's when we're going to be able to do all of the necessary actions that will bring it into form. Because one of my favorite words or lines is, words without works is dead. Visualization, dream boards, and, law of attraction without passion and without action is just a daydream. And the key to bringing things into reality is when we really, really put our heart and our longing and our excitement into it. So, with the fact that we are right now in this waxing moon in Leo, right now is an optimal time for tapping into that juicy, yummy desire and excitement about your dreams, about your goals, about the things that you really want to make happen. And then as the moon goes into Virgo and we have the full moon on Sunday, that is going to be when it's going to be an ideal time for putting it on paper, for taking concrete actions and steps and bringing it into form, and really doing something where you start to physically engage in a way that starts to help it to come into being. Now, with it sort of being this time of year where we've got the moon going into Virgo and a sun in Pisces, it's not necessarily the time for the big cornerstone as much as it's the time for planting the seed and really doing that work of laying that initial foundation. So like Sunday and this full moon in Virgo is more about the blueprint than it is necessarily about, about breaking ground. But it is about starting the process and putting it into form and really letting it come into being. But before we can do that, feeding it with our excitement is the key. So I invite you to join me in really tapping into your own excitement and feeling into what it is that you desire. And my question for you right now is, what do you desire? What is your heart's desire? What is something that you long to create in this world, that you long to manifest, that you long to bring forward? And how can you cultivate a sense of excitement for the possibility that it could be? How can you feed that with your hope, with your enthusiasm, with your vision of what can be? So I'd love to hear what you have to say about all that. If you feel like it and you want to share your own visions, your own dreams, please leave a comment below if you're comfortable sharing it publicly. And if you're not and you want to PM it to me, I love knowing other people's dreams and visions. And so I will hold it in a sacred place and just like read that and go, so mote it be. May it come into this world and exist, and just because I will get excited for you about your vision. So until next word of the day, I am wishing you a deep sense of excitement. I am also wishing you clarity about your heart's desire and an ease in accessing all of this. And meanwhile, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jennifer Moore, Modern Medicine Lady, and I would be eternally and ever so grateful for you to pass this video along. Please share it with people who would find it useful and help me to spread the word. Thank you so much, and until next time, peace.